Hey, you guys, I'm gonna give some time for us to go, for everybody to get in so that I can go over quickly in 15 minutes exactly what the I hire myself 30-day challenge is all about, which I am starting tomorrow, and anybody could decide when they want to start. And so I'm going to give it some time because there was a couple of people that were interested in knowing what it meant to hire yourself. And so, as you see, it's assignment time. That's what it's all about. So, I'm going to give myself some time. Then I'm going to hurry up and get this 15 minutes out. Why? Because I need you to know, and then you'll have this for future and for tomorrow. Let me make sure I share with Sabrina because she was very interested in knowing exactly what that meant. Okay, here I go. Sabrina, because she was very interested in knowing. Here I go. I found myself. Hello. Hello, how are you? I don't know who it is. Hello. Hey, cousin. How are you, lovely? How are you, beautiful? Okay, so let me share this in my other groups, and then we are good to go. Oh, I'm in my I Choose Me Bling group. We got to come out of there. Can't share from that group. Yeah. All right, this one we can share from. So I'm going to get this shared, and then we're going to move on so that we can all understand what it is to hire yourself for 30 days and what is the intention behind the challenge, right? Because it is a challenge. It is a challenge that I know that we all can follow through with because most people have evidence of clocking in to somebody, okay, for at least 40 hours a week, right? Because that's what a job is. Clocking into somebody, hiring. When you get hired, you're basically saying that this is the position that I'm interested in working in order to further the momentum of this area of your company. I believe I will be a great fit and following through with your dreams and aspirations for where you see your company going. They always want to know, how are you going to be a great asset, etc., etc. And so I'm breaking it down as a 30-day challenge for ourselves in order to what? Hire ourselves first. And so that we are very intentional with our time, so that we are very intentional on where we're going and what it is that we want. And so this is my first time ever doing a challenge myself. And so this is going to be a whole lot of fun. I don't proclaim to have all the answers, but I do know that most of these ideas that I get, that they are followed by results if we apply the information. And so I'm going on the journey. I'm inviting you guys to go. At the end of tonight, I'm actually in the middle of creating a group page that is the 30-day I hire myself 30-day challenge. In that group, I will be going live in that group with the different things that I am doing for encouragement, to get each other to basically to the finish line, right? So that we would talk about it. And once a week, I will also have a private Zoom meeting for those people who have decided to hire themselves, so that we can work together to figure out how we can assist each other on getting to the next level. I'm great. You're looking fabulous. Callie is loving your designs. I told you I'll be representing you when I got home. Thank you. I'm so glad. I Choose Me Bling is in Cali, y'all. Come on now. It's about to be everywhere. Hello, Vivian. Hello, beautiful. I sent out your package yesterday. You should be getting it definitely sometime this week. I am so excited for you to see that extra little birthday gift I put in there for you. But that's what you get when you order from I Choose Me Bling Boutique, right? You never know what can be in store for you. Okay, so without further ado, that's it. I'm about to share the details. Let's see. I'm actually gonna put that to my private group. Okay, here we go. So these are the details of what it means to hire yourself. The first step, the first thing you want to do is basically understand what it means. So for 30 days, you got it? For 30 days, I did the multiplication and I found out that God gives us 720 hours in a month. Can y'all say that with me? God gives each and every one of us 720 hours in a month. So this intention to hire ourselves is to figure out how we become our magic. This is how we will walk into the dreams and the desires of our heart, by being intentional with our time. So when I did the math, I recognized that we get 720 hours every month. When we get a job, when somebody hires us in a position, most positions that are full-time require a minimum of 40 hours a week. When I did the math, 40 times 4 weeks is 160 hours. So I sat and I thought about all the different times that I may have worked for somebody else. Majority of the time I have been working for myself as an entrepreneur, but I can honestly say that I have not actually been as intentional as I would have been working at somebody else's establishment, right? Because when we are dealing with ourselves and we don't set the time aside, we are easily distracted in life, and we find that we show up for everybody else and we forget about ourselves. So I was thinking about the whole concept that we know that we are the church. God says we are the church and we should give the church 10%. So I was thinking, what would it mean to give yourself 10% of your time back, right? We give our time away for our roles and titles. We give our time away from, other people's dream, right? Because if I'm working at your establishment, then I am pursuing the vision and dream that you have for yourself. I am showing up every day, in most cases 5 days a week, to fulfill a 40-hour work period in order to keep the momentum going in somebody's company. And so this I hire myself challenge is saying that I am going to decide which area of my life I want to improve. When somebody hires you for their company or for a position, it is because they need to improve a certain area of their life by creating momentum, so that somebody can build basically a good rapport with every area that is, by basically studying, taking the time, clocking in every day, right? Showing up when you don't want to. Come on now. How often did we show up to jobs that we didn't want to, but we needed to? Why? We needed to because we know that we needed the results. So time is equal to money. And so I had to ask you, when you think about last month, and we're breathing. So we was here last month, right? Thank God. A lot of people didn't make it. So let's be grateful for the breath that we've been given. But I didn't want to waste the breath that I was given. I kept on sitting here saying, I want something more. I want to get to that next level in my life. I need abundance. And then I started this Become Your Magic Power Hour. And I was thinking that is the abundance that we need, right? We need to check into ourselves. So suppose I committed to me for 30 days and found 40 hours, decided what it is that I wanted, continued to show up at that magnitude, and then at the end of the 30 days, figure out what it is that I got, right? What did I grow myself into? What areas of my life can I now see the results that I've been waiting for years, but I haven't been very intentional with how I run my time. And we are the key. I mean, my biggest problem is procrastination. How many of you guys know that you procrastinate? I sit and I think about the stuff that I have been able to do, but I will not say that it was a focused thing. I have been here and there distracted. I come up with this, I do this, and so it works out. But it's been 8 years that I dreamed about the I Choose Me. You know why it took that long? Because I took that long. I took that long with taking very, 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 very focused time, right? Focused energy in what it is that I wanted. So the first step that we're going to do is we are hiring ourselves. If you are committed to saying there is an area in my life that I want to improve, and I know that is going to require me to do the work to consciously be in control of my days, my hours, and my minutes. So the way I'm doing it, the way I'm doing it is I'm creating a schedule. So the first thing you have to decide is what area in your life do you want to hire yourself for? If you are good financially, you don't need to hire yourself to try to budget and try to create different ways to bring more money into you. That's not your issue. So I don't want you to just pick anything. I want you to be very clear on what area of life. If you sat down today and you said, I would love to improve this part of my life, I want you to, first of all, I want you to pick that part. If you're in relationship and you know that you've been working and you've been giving, but you haven't been able to nurture your relationship, then this is the part that you hire yourself. You hire yourself to bring love and joy back into your relationship for the next 30 days, right? If you are like me, who have all these different products and idea, but you haven't broken that financial barrier, that's where I'm at. So right now I have all this, so I'm going to have to be doing more promoting, more focused energy, more intentional, right? Getting my products done. That's my goal, right? So I'm going to be able to start in the morning. I realize that in order for me to get 40 hours a week, I'm going to work for myself 7 days a week. Why? Because it's clocking into me. And if God gives me 24 hours a day, I realize that that means you have 4 quarters in every day. 6, 12, 18, 24. And so in order to commit to a 40-hour week, it is less than 6 hours a day if you are choosing to do a 7-day-a-week work week with yourself, right? So because I'm going to do it 7 days a week, that means I only need 6 hours a day. So just 2 days ago, I'm telling you, I'm just new with this, and that's why I'm saying we're going to go together. Just 2 days ago, I sat down and realized that means 6 hours a day. So for 6 hours a day, the way I'm going to create my schedule to make sure I give myself 40 hours a week is doing 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon, and 2 hours in the evening. When I say it has to be designated to what you're hiring yourself for, I don't want you to cheat yourself out of your conclusion. I don't want you to cheat yourself out of that dream that you have that you're aiming for. I want you to be very specific and very clear. So the first thing you have to do is decide what area of your life you are hiring yourself for. The next step is decide how are you going to pencil your life in. So if you don't want to do it 7 days a week and you want to do it 5 days a week, then you definitely have to break down that math, right? You got to break down how many hours do I commit to myself in order to what? Continue to feel me, continue to get this dream that I have. So the only thing that makes your life different from somebody else that maybe you're watching, like, how did they do that? We all are clear that God has no respect to persons. That means that we each get the same amount of time. The only thing that sets you apart from somebody else is how they chose to use their time, right? How they chose to show up in that moment, how they chose to show up in their dream. So what this challenge is doing is holding you accountable for all the minutes that we don't even know where they went to. I cannot tell you where 720 minutes went to last month. But what I can tell you is that because God has opened my eyes to see that time is money, right? How we show up and how we commit and how we dedicate to time is going to decide what our life looks like. So there are so many of us complaining about life right now, complaining about what's not going right, complaining about where we see our selves going. And the cure to complaining is to get in action. So for all of you guys that are interested in hiring yourself in this challenge, please email ichoosememovement@gmail.com. Let me know that I hire myself, right? You put in the comments, I hire myself, and your start date. I'm starting tomorrow. You do not have to start tomorrow. You can choose whatever time to start. So if you want to be a part of this journey so that we can find out what happens when we actually are intentional with the minutes that God gives us, that we are not giving ourselves away to everybody else. Because when I thought about the 24 hours, I thought about all the roles and titles that we fulfill in the 24 hours and how we cannot even remember what part of that was for who we were, right? We always go back to the part when on the airplane, and they always tell you in order for you to give to somebody else, you have to take care of yourself. Well, clocking into you, hiring yourself for your own dreams is saying that I see me and I am tired of sitting around procrastinating, but I am going to get in action for what I want, because faith without works is dead. This is a very, very crucial time in our lives. That information is the most valuable. And the things that we take in, the things that we apply will one day be our testimonies, our stories, our success stories, right? What? The success stories of how we got in action for what we wanted by sitting down with what we had already been given, right? Because God said he gives us everything we need. And we just misuse our time. We misuse our time. And so I have some people already who are getting results and we haven't even started. Shout out to Melissa Price. Simple action steps, right? Shout out to Ron Paulin. Because the thing is, we gotta be serious about what we say we want. And the way we be serious is by showing up. By showing up honestly, by showing up authentically, by showing up intentionally. That is the word. So as I said before, we are getting 160 hours. I myself am starting tomorrow. If you happen to see this as a replay, because this was not a plan, I just wanted to hurry up and go on and break down the details because I am starting tomorrow. One of the things that I'm going to do, because I have 6 hours a day, one of those hours are going to exercise. Why? Because what good is a dream and arriving in a place that we desire and not being physically, mentally, and emotionally equipped for the thing that we waited our whole life for. So I'm definitely going to add an hour of workout, right? That's easy. Now I'm already down to 5 hours in a day. I go live every Monday through Friday on my Become Your Become Your Magic Power Hour. That's another hour. So now I'm already down to 4. Come on. If you feel like you need to laugh more, you should designate an hour or two a day too. Maybe looking at comedians, going on YouTube, sitting around that person that brings you joy. I cannot tell you what area of your life you need improvement in. That is a you job. That is a you sitting down and being honest and saying, this is what I want. This is what I desire. And this is what I'm going to do, right? So if you feel like you know what you want, or even if you don't know what you want, I urge you to be intentional about your time. I urge you to write the vision and make it plain. And so this 30-day challenge is going to be me and many of you writing the vision and making it plain, and then showing up 30 days later to show the world what it means to become your magic and ignite those abracadabra moments that you already were pre-qualified for. And all you need to do is connect with the intention and the action, right? Because faith without works is dead. And so if we want these dreams and we have these desires and we really, really, really want to be and go and see and live in this dream for ourselves, guess what we really have to do? We have to do the work. Do you hear me? You have to do the work. I'm not speaking from somebody who is waiting for somebody else to show up for me. I'm speaking for somebody who has 5 amazing kids, a husband, a whole lot of committed parts of myself. But I still have decided to commit to what I want. Not get caught up in my pains of my past, but recognize that every time I dream of what I want, when I sat down, I recognize that the only time it happened was when I followed through on the yes. When I followed through on what it was that I wanted by taking action steps. So I think this is an easy way for us to take action steps and slowly but surely get to our position, right? So this is the first step. And the reason why we're going to have that weekly meeting and I'm going to be going live in that private group or all throughout the day is because I want to coach you. I want you to understand that I'm going to be learning too. So we're going to use that place to encourage each other, to be honest with each other, and to show up for ourselves, to become trustworthy in our own lives, because we didn't take our breaths for granted. We didn't take those minutes, those hours, those days for granted. We realized that the only way to get to where we were going was to walk it out, was to be in motion, was to create a plan. So this is the plan that we're creating. If you need any help trying to figure out how do you narrow down what it is you want to do, because guess what? After 30 days, we would have created a habit, and next month we could tackle a whole nother position in our life. By the end of the year, we would have completed 12 different areas of our life. By what? By showing up day by day by day. And so we are 20 minutes in. If I don't see any questions, I'm just gonna end out this live, because this is not one of those, oh, I'm coming to teach you, preach you. I'm just trying to explain to you what this challenge is, why you need to be doing it, and why it's time out for any excuses, right? Right now is about us recognizing that if we want it bad enough, that we have to go get it. If we are sick and tired of not living in our dreams, then we gotta what? We gotta stop having excuses about everything. Stop having excuses about why we haven't arrived, why our neighbor got there, why this one is doing it. We need to go with each other to figure out how can we commit to our dream as we have committed to so many others. When you go into that job, you are committing to somebody else's dream. When you go in those places and you go into those spaces that no longer serve you or no longer lift you, and you keep on pouring, you do 24 hours of giving, and wonder why you feel tired, you feel restless, and you feel depleted. It is because you cannot continue to give without no type of refuel to yourself. You will find that you run dry. And so this is committing to us getting our life back, taking ownership of the dreams that we have, and implementing strategies in order for us to get to where we're going. So the first step is to decide what it is that you want to do in your own life. The second step is to make a schedule. Decide if you want to work 5 days a week, you want to work 4 days a week, you want to work 7 days a week. Understand that because I broke it up, 160 days is not actual 30 days. 160 hours ends up being 4 weeks, 7, 14, 20, and 28. So you got 2 days to either get overtime on or to lose time on, right? Or to catch up. So you decide by how committed you are daily. And I want to tell you something. Don't get discouraged if you miss a day or you don't have that exact drive. I need you to channel in that same drive and sacrifice you have when you are going to invest in somebody else. Because no matter what job you go to, you don't get paid until at least 2 weeks later. Even if it's a job that you get paid every week, because you got to be in the hole 1 week. If you're on a salary job, you only get paid once a month anyway. So I want you to pay attention for 30 days of what area you're fixing and start to really add up the difference. Really add up the increase in your energy, your spirit, and in your belief in yourself. So this is going to stop a lot of limited beliefs. This is going to prove a lot of I think it's just going to ignite some good relationships with ourselves, right? It's going to ignite some dreams for ourselves. And so without further ado, that is all. I just wanted to let you guys know what it means to hire yourself. If you are interested in being a part of the I Hire Myself Challenge, please put in a comment, I hire myself. I will invite you to the group when I finish it at tonight. I'll have it all done before tomorrow, because I will start to go live in that group. I will not just be live on my regular pages. I will only be live if I'm dealing with the 30-day challenge in that group. And on my YouTube page, I choose me, #no more excuses. Everything else I might post periodically. But the point is, I want to make sure that that area is designated for the people who want it. I'm not going to waste any more time talking and pouring and giving when people don't want it, because then that's a waste of my time, right? So if you're interested, put in a comment, I'm interested. Email iChooseMeMovement@gmail.com. I see you, Vivian. You hiring yourself. I will definitely make sure you are in the group when I get it completed tonight. I cannot wait to see how we can support each other. I cannot wait to see what happens to me after 30 days. I would love to be an abracadabra moment, another abracadabra moment, right? Because I know that when I intentionally clock into me, oh my God, where my life can go. Because I'm not gonna lie to you. I am so easily distracted. I have really barely ever created a structure, or if I just go with the flow. And so insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. I can write books, I can dream. I have dream ADD. I have no problem with that area of my life. But sitting down and actually forming a plan and saying, okay, I'm gonna make this many calls this time. I'm gonna go live this many hours. I'm gonna talk about my book this man. To implement the strategies in order to get the other part of the return is something that I am working on this month. And so I'm excited. I'm excited to see where we go. I'm excited to see how we grow. And most importantly, I'm excited to see the relationships that we will build with ourselves because we decided to put ourselves first. This is you putting yourself first. For many years, I'm sure you have worked on somebody else's dream and you have put your family first. You have put your job first. You have put your kids first. You have put your spouse first. You have put your friends first. But when have you put you first? So this is the challenge to say that God has isolated us in this season in order to put ourselves first, in order to see who God called us to be, because that is what it's all about. It's about seeing ourselves. It's about showing up for ourselves. It's about really being intentional with who and what we want for our lives. I am in a couple of challenges, though, Precious. Come on now. I'd like to know what other challenges you're doing, and I hope this challenge makes everything else better. Come on now. Because if you're saying that I'm going to commit to myself, then guess what? If you're in other challenges, then this is added on to that in that hour, because those other challenges are feeding a part of yourself that you know you need. And so this is a great way to add it into the challenges that you have going on, because I'm already going live, but it's still counting as one of my 6 hours a day. I'm just going to intentionally add more work. So I have jewelry and stuff that I'm making that I should already have on the thing, but I have been distracted. But now that I'm hiring myself, I'll have no choice but to say, I'm sitting down for 2 hours to make this jewelry. That's me hiring myself for my business. I'm sitting down for this hour to meditate so that I have the peace of mind to be able to dream a bigger dream, right? I'm sitting down for this hour to sit and have dinner with my family because I don't want to go into abundance without having the full package of love, right? So I want to make sure that it's not just a one-sided, that I'm working on the different areas of my life, because what happens is when we are all over the place, nothing gets full, and then it weighs down on us feeling like we can't get what we want, and everything seems like it's incomplete because we are putting a little bit in everywhere. But if I can focus on one job, like what they do when they hire you, they don't put you in a position to do a million things. They got somebody doing this, somebody doing this, somebody doing this, and you work in those positions for years, which means they never tell you to stop bringing the momentum to the dream. So how often have you put your dream down? Like, I remember when I wrote my play, oh my goodness, I thought about writing the play a year before I actually sat down to write it. It took me a year to sit down and write a play that I thought that was in my head a year before, because I just would not, could not, or did not choose to sit down and find the time. So this is about us realizing that time becomes timeless when we are intentional with what we're doing with it. When we realize that if you are there and we all have the same time, then maybe I need to be different and more intentional with how I'm spending it. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Vivian. Yes. So, I mean, that's the bottom line. So guess what? That is 30 minutes. I never realized how fast we can go when we're talking, right? So like I said, I will be having encouragement. I will be telling you my praise reports of what I've done over this week, how I've been clocking in, how hard it was, how easy it was, you know, because I actually, when I sat down, I was like 2 hours for morning, noon, and night. I think that's going to actually be easy. I think we make it harder on ourselves by not recognizing how much time we waste. So you got this. That's a quarter. That means you're giving yourself a quarter tank. 24 hours, one day, 6 hours of it is a quarter of your day that you can break or break down. So this is that idea. This is how I see it, right? So I'm learning as we go. But what I can assure you is that I'm already getting results, and so are some of the people who just started. So we're gonna be checking in more and more. Like I said, we're gonna be going more and more towards that promise. But it all starts with you saying, I hire myself. So who's with hiring their self today? We got Vivian on, I'm hiring myself. We got Melissa, she's hiring herself. We got Ron Paulin, he's hiring himself. We got Star Fletcher, she's hiring herself. Who else is hiring herself? We got I know we have about 4 other people that are have reached out that are hiring themselves. I cannot wait to give the praise reports. I can assure you that one of the praise reports already came in today. I'm so excited because Melissa called to say she is hiring herself. She started today, even though she's not starting till Monday. That's the day she hiring herself for. I'm going tomorrow, but she's going on Monday, so it doesn't matter what day you want to hire yourself. It's between you and yourself. But she called me today. She texted me today. She's like, "You never guess. I went live for an hour." Because I'm like, well, hire yourself. You have product. Let them know what you have. She sold 5 books today. 1 hour. 5 books. Because she hired herself. What have you done for companies that you thought never appreciated you? How about you appreciate yourself? How about you choose yourself? How about you give yourself the life that you always dreamed of? How about you do that, right? Richard Pryor face, right? And so I'm telling you, we are already seeing results and we haven't even begun because it is just that simple. How you spend time with you will always be the evidence of your life. And so if you don't like what's going on, guess what? You got the power to change it. So let's ignite our power. I will see you guys tomorrow at 12 for the Become Your Magic Power Hour on all of these platforms. Remember, you can always subscribe to my I Choose Me #No More Excuses YouTube page. You also can be a part of my I Choose Me Bling Boutique. Oh, my back is hurting. But last but not least, I want you to know, good evening, Vivian. I want you to know that you are a light that the world needs. And the only way for you to get what it is that you want is by showing it up for the you that matters. I love you guys. It's assignment time. Remember, you can never turn on anybody else's light, but you can provide enough light for them to find their switch. So it is your responsibility to stay lit in this world so somebody can find their way out of this darkness. Remember, it is your responsibility to also hire yourself for the dreams that you want for you. If you can help somebody else's dream come true, certainly you have enough time to help yourself get to where you want to be. It may be a sacrifice, but aren't you worth it? I had a cousin that was posting that they worked an 80-hour week last week, 40 hours of overtime. 40 hours of overtime. Could you imagine what that would have looked like in her own life? And she's very gifted. So we just got to be willing to trust ourselves enough to follow through with whatever it is that we desire by hiring ourselves. See you guys tomorrow. Love you guys. And thank you so much for your time. Take care of those souls. And remember, it is your responsibility to hire yourself. Nobody's going to bring your magic to you. You make magic happen. So when you believe that and you operate in it and you show up for it, your life will always be a picture of what it is that is inside. See you guys later. Bye-bye.